gets stalked, harassed, and terrorized by a man who continually tried to break into my home for months on end, and they never caught him. And yes, this is a real story, and it happened to me. About 10, 12 years ago, when I was living in Florida, I lived in a 2-bedroom duplex in a relatively nice area. It was part of a homeowners association. It wasn't a bad end of town. And I lived right next door to my best friend and her son, who was the same age as mine. I was working 2 jobs at the time, so I would get off. I was working this job 6, 7 days a week, so I wasn't getting off work till about anywhere between 11 at night and 4 o'clock in the morning. This night, I had gotten off, I want to say I was home by like midnight. Went and picked up my son from my mom's house, brought him home, put him to bed in his room, and I sat down on the couch to watch Law & Order SVU because I used to record every single episode on my DVR. Now, as I'm watching SVU, I start to doze off, sitting up, and my head is back like this. Well, behind me is a set of windows and blinds, and to the right of me, where my other couch was, is where the front door is, my couch, and then a bunch more windows. So I was starting to fall asleep, and then all of a sudden, I jump awake because my blinds smack me in the back of the head. And I hear a really loud thud. Obviously hear the thud before the blinds hit me. But being that I was falling asleep, I thought, okay, maybe it was one of those dreams where, you know, you're falling off of something or slipping, but it wasn't. So I'm standing in the middle of the room, freaking the fuck out. And so the first thing I go do is grab my son from his room and put him in the living room with me on the couch. I was out there a few minutes, standing in the middle of my living room, freaking out, thinking, okay, maybe that was just a dream, until I hear somebody trying to break into my back porch. Now, I had a sliding glass door and a screen in back porch. I'd always lock the screen on the lanai and then lock my sliding glass door, and the blinds were closed, so I couldn't see, but I can hear somebody trying to rip the fucking door off of my... So now that I confirm that it is definitely somebody trying to break into my home, I call 911 and say, hey, there's somebody trying to break into my home. I'm here alone with my son. Please get somebody here. He went to one window, now he's at the back. And mind you, this entire time I hear him trying to rip off the screen door. So she proceeds to tell me that about 2 streets away from where I live, there was an old lady being held at gunpoint, which of fucking course there was. This wasn't a bad neighborhood, but of course this would happen on the one night that I need police, and that it would take at least an hour for them to be able to get to me because every unit that they had were at that house. Now, I'm pleading with this dispatcher to please send it just one of the cars because there was somebody trying to break into my home. I can't see who they are. Even if I look out the blinds, there was no lights on the sides of the house and the back of the house where they were. None. It was pitch black. Maybe I could have seen an outline, but I'm terrified. So I'm begging her, please, get somebody here as soon as you can. Now, all of a sudden, the back screen door stops, trying to be broke into. At this point, I have a knife in my hand because she says nobody's able to get to me for an hour. I didn't have a pew-pew at the time, and I needed to protect me and my son. So I'm standing in my kitchen/living room, like going into the kitchen because my sliding glass door, the lanai he was trying to break into. And then I hear what sounds like my screen being taken off my window. But the person, whoever it was, didn't know what they were doing, so it was really, really loud. So then I start begging her, please. I'm begging her, please. He is at a different window. He is trying to get in. Please, please, please send somebody as soon as you can. She then tells me somebody will be there as soon as they can. I cannot stay on the phone with you, which I again beg her because I at least want, 911 on so maybe they can hear something for this person that breaks in and kills me. Nope, she says that she cannot stay on the phone and says they'll be out to you as soon as they can, and they hang up. I immediately start calling my parents who live a few blocks away and calling every friend. Conveniently, nobody answers the phone. Person had spent 2 minutes or so trying to get into my screen in my window before it finally stopped. Mind you, I'm not on the phone with anybody, so I am just standing in the middle of my living room panicking with a knife in my hand and my son asleep on the couch. It stops, so I'm like, oh God, please let the cops show up anytime. It had only been a couple minutes. Now, I did have my front porch light on. That's the side of the house. As of now, he wasn't on. But I had turned it on when I had jumped up the first time. Before I went and got my son, I turned on the front. I don't know why. Maybe in my thought process, I was thinking turning the lights on will scare them. It didn't. So at this point, they had stopped trying to get into my window, and it was quiet for about a minute. And I'm still standing there praying that the police get there super quick when I hear somebody trying to break in what is now my son's window, doing the same thing with the screen. So I think, okay, let me jump over to my front window by the couch, and maybe I can see what the fuck's going on or who it is. Conveniently, my front porch light is off. Then, all of a sudden, stop trying to break into that window. But my front porch light is off, and I have no lights on any part of my house. It took the police 45 minutes to get there, and in this 45 minutes, this person went to every window in my home and started, or on every single one. For 45 minutes, I couldn't go out. It's just me and my son. What if it was more than just one person? What if it was a group of people? I needed to wait on the police. I didn't want to leave my son inside and go investigate, but I am terrified. One of those, I'm going to call my mom, but I'm the mom. I am panicking. I am thinking of do I have enough time if they start banging on the back to grab my son and run and lock ourselves in the car and drive away? I'm thinking of everything. About 5 minutes before the police arrive, it stops. It's quiet. There's nothing. I did think I yelled once that I have a gun in here, but I didn't have it to cock, unfortunately, to make the noise. Police show up, though. So this went on for about 40 minutes after I got off the phone with dispatch. 40 minutes this person terrorized me. And this was just the first night. Now, if you've watched some of my videos before, you see I wake up. My hair is usually not like this. It looks like this. Crazy as shit. So police finally show up, and I'm in my pajamas with my hair all crazy, my makeup streaming down my face because I had been crying because I didn't know what to do and I was having an anxiety attack. But 2 police officers show up. So the 2 cops show up, and my front porch light's not on. So they step into my house. I could tell they're both annoyed. I explain the situation, and they're kind of looking at me like, Okay. But mind you, when I go to sleep, if you've ever watched my videos and I first wake up, my hair is crazy. I'm in pajamas. I think it was at the end of like my 2-job work week and I had the next day off. But they didn't really believe me. The one cop said he'll humor me when I went to go show him the side of the house where the first hit happened and the blinds hit me in the back of the head. The other cop went back to the car. So as we're exiting, the cop goes to his car and the other cop and I are walking out the front door and he asks me to turn the light on. And I said, it is on. I said, and I explained while all this was going on and right before he went around to the side of the house, all of a sudden the light stopped working. So he's like, huh, odd. Goes over to the side of the house and sees that there is, in fact, a large shoe print and a hand mark. So he's like, holy shit. So he goes to walk around front and tells the other guy to come here, goes to show the other cop. The cop steps right on the footprint and smudges the handprint, going that could have been hers. That could have been from anything. That could have been somebody opening the window. Why is somebody trying to open the window from the outside, sir? So the dickhead cop walks off. The other cop walks back around with me to the front and goes, let me check out that light. And I had a little stool by my front door. So he grabs that, steps on it. My light bulb was untwisted. The person had untwisted it so that my light wouldn't work. So he then tells me, okay, we will keep a report. We'll keep a unit in the area for the night, driving by just to make sure you're okay. If anything else happens, give us a call. Other than that, there's nothing we could do. I'm thinking, fucking great. You know, there was a perfect print on one window. Once, the other, he used the side of his hand, and you could see it. But the only fingerprint one, the one cop smudged. So, whatever. They leave. And for that, the rest of that night, I'm okay. I do check out the blinds a couple more times, but that was the first night that started a fucking 9 to 10 months of hell. Living hell for me. If you want to hear more or like the rest, I'd have to do it in parts. Just let me know. But that's the first night of where it begun. It was fucking terrifying.
I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Growing up, I had a couple stepdaddies. I ain't gonna say a lot and do my mama bad, but I had a couple of them. Thank God none of their ass was weird. Cause my mama picked them right. Every last stepdaddy my mama had, baby, they treated me like I was their daughter for real. Never played about me. Point blank, period. Until this day, they still look out. Every last one. So lucky. But anyways, I'm in the grocery store shopping and I see my mama ex-lover and he instantly say, hey girl, when he see me. And I was like, hey. And I was about to say, Pops. But then I looked beside him and it was a woman and she was cute as hell, long hair and everything. And when she saw me, she was like, oh my God, you are so pretty, just naturally pretty. I'm like, yeah, but I just need your hair, baby. Because when I tell y'all she has some long ass hair, let me borrow that motherfucking hair. But anyways, I'm thinking to myself, like, he's sitting here asking me how the family doing and, you know, how my mom is doing and how everything is going, telling me that he had bought him a house and he's back in town now. And you got a woman with you. Do she know who the fuck I am? Because I'm your ex-stepdaughter, okay? You used to fuck with my mama. I hope she don't think that, you know what I'm saying, I'm your family. No, baby, you need to let her know how the fuck you know me, because don't ever play with my motherfucking mama. Don't walk up on me and you got a female with you. Don't do no shit like that, but I still said, hey, gave both of them a hood. What the fuck? Didn't show my mama no fucking loyalty.
So an hour and a half ago, I found out my man was cheating on me. I don't really feel like doing my makeup. So here's a story time now. Made it very clear we were exclusive to each other. He was like, if anyone asks, you're my girl, I'm your man. Anyways, this whole time, he's been snapping this chick, having conversation after conversation with her, and like he was the one continuing the conversations. And then the girl heard a rumor that me and him were together, so she brought it up with him, and he was like, no, we're not. And she goes, are you sure? Because I saw a picture of you and unknown female together. And he's like, that wasn't me in the picture. So about an hour and a half ago, the girl Snapchats me, and is like, are you guys together? Because he said all of this, and all of this has been happening. And at that point, me and the guy were literally supposed to hang out in 30 minutes. So I was like in my room fucking freaking out over this shit. And so I was like, okay, he's in a position where he could probably talk his way out of this shit. So I need to bust him, right? So I tell the girl to ask him if he wants to hang out. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. And then she told him to bring something that starts with a C. And he said, okay. He's still texting me right now. And he was basically like, I wasn't even gonna go and you're throwing this away for nothing. And I'm just like, even if I wanted to stay with you after this, you hurt me so much that if I were to stay with you every day, I would have that in the back of my mind. Like, I would have rather him just had a one-night sneaky link, because he didn't get with the girl. Like, he was down to, but he didn't end up getting with her. He was just snapping her every day. But I would have rather him literally had a one-night sneaky link than be continuously talking to that girl. Like, that just, like, stabs in the heart so much. Like, he was doing that sober every single day. But yeah.